tallying the votes in the back to determine whether or not we have a quorum. I'm going to turn the microphone over to our counsel, Alan Lawson, who represents us legally, and express the importance to everybody how important it is to take some of these extra, what's the form called, Alan? It's a joinder, consent and joinder. If you wouldn't mind taking some and at least try to work your neighbors or your street a little bit to see if anybody that hasn't sent them, if we can get a yes on this. It's critical because if it doesn't pass, you're looking at higher assessments. There's no way around it. We're eating too much money that we are entitled to but can't get because of outdated documents when people foreclose or if they sell their unit and they owe us back assessments. We're limited into what we can collect. So Alan's going to do a better job of explaining that. So Alan, if you don't mind.
Sure. Thank you, Larry. My father always said that before you start a meeting, you should tell a joke. Okay? So with your indulgence, I'm going to do that. It's a lawyer joke, so I'll kind of pick on myself a little bit. But there were, I won't take long. There were three brothers. One was an engineer, one was a doctor, one was an attorney. And they were raised by the father who they loved dearly. He put them through school and supported them and took care of them. And they were sitting around one day and they asked their father, they said, "Dad, when it's your time, what would you like us to do for you?" And the father thought about that for a second and he said, "I'd like you each to put $1,000 in my casket as I go on to the next life." So time goes along and father passes away and the engineer and the doctor and the attorney are standing around the casket. And the engineer says, "Oh, we're supposed to put $1,000 in the casket for Dad." So he gets out 10 $100 bills and puts it in the casket. The doctor then gets out 2 $500 bills and puts it in the casket. And the attorney gets out a check, writes it out for $3,000, takes the $2,000 back, and puts that in the casket. So, a little levity. Yes, right. Okay, amendments. The board has spent a lot of time working on the amendments, putting something together to help the association. The first amendment, one of the first amendments, deals with assessments. As you know, the lifeblood of an association is assessments. That's how we pay for all the amenities you have, pay for the upkeep of the common property as well as the townhomes. Your original declaration, the governing documents, as you all know, was written over 30 years ago. And they have a provision in there which is antiquated, dealing with mortgage foreclosures. As you know, a lot of times townhouses, if somebody doesn't pay their mortgage, the townhouse will be foreclosed upon by the bank. In our governing documents, which is contrary to Florida law, it says that mortgage companies, banks, mortgage holders do not have to pay any back assessments to the association once they take ownership of the property. Okay? That's not what Florida law says. Florida law says they have to pay 1% of the mortgage or 1 year of back assessments to the association. Because of the way that documents are construed, Florida law says that since your governing documents, which predated the change in the law, says that banks don't have to pay, they don't have to pay. So what we've done with the amendment is to bring the documents, the declaration, up to speed with what the law now says. The idea being that there's no reason why banks shouldn't be required to pay at least some of the back assessments when they take over the property for getting the benefit of it, and that's what Florida law provides. So the idea is that by making this amendment, by adopting this amendment, it allows the association to generate more revenue, which helps with keeping your assessments down and helps with upkeep of the property. Okay, so that's kind of the first one. The second one deals with leasing and occupancy. Traditionally, the association has had a problem with knowing who's leasing various units. And I shouldn't say that. There are some very good owners that do provide notification and do let the association know, but there's also some that don't. And the concern is that you're required to do that under government documents. The concern is that we don't know who's coming in the community. We have no idea what their background is. We have no idea if there are safety issues. We have no idea whether they can present any problems to our residents. So in just about every association, whether it's a condominium association or a homeowners association, there's a requirement that they have to fill out a leasing application. As part of that application, the association can do a background check to make sure we don't have, a convicted felon that is appropriate or some type of sexual predator that is coming into the neighborhood, which would give you grounds to disapprove that potential rent. So again, that's part of the proposal with the leasing and occupancy is to be able to clearly do background checks to see who's coming into the residence and just to make sure that the community that you're living in is safe. Okay. As part of the leasing amendments as well, the board decided that this doesn't apply to any current owner. Okay, it's only going to apply to anybody who buys in the future. But there would be, leasing would be restricted during the first 2 years, and minimum lease would be 6 months. The idea being that we just don't want a situation where you have the Airbnb type situation where somebody's coming in and renting for a day or a week or several weeks. Okay, so that's part of it. Again, I'm trying to avoid the community being used as purely a leasing community, but rather to be used as a home ownership community. The final thing is you have 3 basic governing documents for the association, which is true for any association. You have your articles of incorporation, you have your bylaws, you have your declaration. Okay? In your articles of incorporation and your bylaws, for making any amendment to them, it simply allows, once you obtain a form at a meeting, at a member's meeting, which is what this is, then a majority of the members at that meeting can make any changes. Okay, so the idea being we get a form, then if you're 51% of the folks there to approve changes, it can be done. The declaration, however, has a different procedure for whatever reason. I don't know why they set it up that way. But it requires that 51% of all owners have to approve any changes to the declaration. As everyone knows in the city of tonight, it's difficult to get a quorum for this particular association. We've had, I was talking to David earlier, as many of you know, I think we've had 1, maybe 2 quorums in the last 15 or 16 years. So the idea is to, with this change, it allows the declaration amendment process to be compatible and the same as the amendment process for the bylaws and the articles of incorporation. So again, the idea being, if we want to make some changes, we can do that, and it allows, once you obtain a quorum, that you get 51% of the members that are there at the quorum to vote for an amendment. It's simply, you have a supermajority provision really to do the amendments of the declaration, which some associations have simply because the documents are antiquated. Most of the associations that have updated their documents have lowered that percentage. Some have done it much more significantly than even this. But I think the board felt that this was a good compromise between having enough votes that could vote on something, and but not be prohibited in terms of trying to make any changes. Okay. Just a plug. Our experience is that unless it's
you can't hear.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you're holding the metal piece at the bottom.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
All right.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. I also get hesitancy to stand in churches, so it gives us plug how to do this. What I've suggested to the board is that to get these amendments passed, you really need to do a door-to-door campaign. What I mean by that is you got to go knock on your neighbors and your friends' door and say, please vote. Here's the written consent, written agreement, joint or consent form, which David tells me is on the website for the association. You probably all got it back tonight, but if you can't find it, you can go to the website. And please, we really need to get your vote on this, whichever way you're going to vote, but at least we want to be able to have a consensus of the community as to whether or not we want to enact some of these amendments. So what we've done and encouraged associations to do in the past is really to do a door-to-door campaign. It's almost like, running for office or something. But go knock on your neighbor's door. If you see your neighbor, hey, have you voted on amendments? If not, go on the website, pull up the written agreement, or even better, there's some I think in the back of the church tonight, and take a handful with you and see if you can't pigeonhole some of your neighbors to vote and to express how they want their association to be run. Okay, with that, Larry, I think that kind of covered what I wanted to do. Give it back to you.
Okay, now.
Not
Okay. I do want everybody to be aware of who our board members are and what a great job they're all doing. Natalia Franklin. Please stand up so Marion Barnes. Randall Anderson. Michelle Murray. And she controls the purse strings, so she get on her good side. And then, of course, we couldn't live without Rebecca Basil.
And next to you, the right hand of the Father.
And I'm trying to remember what I wanted to call you. That's my hesitation is the godfather will probably work. Okay. Joseph Costello, he's our vice president. And of course, you know David, you see him on the property a lot. Okay. The next thing I would like to do while we're waiting on the tally back there is to have Michelle Murray give a little synopsis of our financial standings. Okay.
No, I wasn't ready for that, but I'll ad-lib. I don't get the joke tonight, Ellen. Actually, financially, I think we're in pretty good shape. You all did receive a budget in the not-too-distant past, and you'll all know that your assessments did go up $11. I know that was upsetting to a lot of people. However, that's just the way things are. Everything goes up. We hadn't raised our assessment since 2016, and during that time, our water went up tremendously. We've got some real challenges moving forward. We do want to keep the maintenance fees low, but we need your help to do that. They were talking tonight about getting this thing approved. Well, some of the language in our documents makes us have to spend a certain amount of money, such as insurance. There's language in the documents that is not present in the documents for like Sandalwood proper or Sandalwood North, I think, and I think Stanford's, I'm not positive. But anyway, we have to spend a lot more money for our insurance because of language in the documents than those other associations. If we're able to change that language, we can probably reduce our association fees. Maybe not a lot, maybe $5, but that one thing alone would really be helpful in controlling our expenses. And then another thing, the water. Our water bill has gone up astronomically from, we had budgeted $612,000 in 2017. Right now, we're budgeting $704,000 for our water. I mean, and that's just in 1 year that our water went up like that. So whether we're using a lot of water, whether there are leaks somewhere, whether, there's whatever the issue is, it's going to we need to do some serious research. Working with the city, we need volunteers to help us. We can't do it all as a board. It just is not humanly possible. So if any of you have connections or some sort of kind of interest in our resources, please, contact the board and let us know how you're willing to help. It's something that we're going to have to do in the not too distant future. Then our delinquencies, when we took over in 2017, I think that was about $385,000 in delinquencies. Right now, we only owe, only outstanding is about $169,000. So, I mean, that's a huge reduction in what's owed there. I think people are getting back on track. I think they're realizing that when they do start to get in trouble, the board is going to do something about it. So they're a little more willing to work with us sooner than waiting for the attorney to get involved and adding all those fees on top of fees. Let's see, what else? Oh, our budget year for last year, we had a slight surplus, not a lot, but $8,000 and change, I think, off the top of my head. And I thought that was really good. That we worked really hard to keep track of all the expenses. We didn't go over budget, even though we did do a lot of things. I think last year we spent. Was last year the year we did the shed? We did the shed last year. We did a lot of things. We bought a new gator last year, and we did all those things within budget. So that's very good news. All in all, I mean, I think that we're working with all of you. I think we're doing a good job. We'd love to see more people get involved. I mean, just think if we had a presidential election and your vote didn't count unless 51% of the American people went to the polls. I mean, that's basically what we have
Like
here.
that analogy.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't have an election if you don't have a quorum. Tonight, if you hated every one of us and wanted to boot us out, good luck with that, because you wouldn't have quorum. It's really important that more people get involved. I don't care, even if it's only coming to the meeting. Even if it's only coming to your, to the monthly meetings. Get involved. It doesn't really take that much. We appreciate the input. We don't know what everybody's thinking if nobody's talking. Until, of course, everybody shows up when they're unhappy. If we'd raise the assessment $50, this place would have been packed. And we would have been gone. So, I guess off the top of my head, that's it.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't have a joke for you. I'm very good at that. Good evening. Oh, and you know what? Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you for coming out tonight in this weather. Thank you.
And not to mention, she keeps an eye on bank rates too. She moves money around. So we get the most for our dollars invested.
Yeah. Interest rates are going up, folks.
Okay, and of course, any board member who would like to say something is more than welcome, but I would like Randall, he's worked so hard on our fence project. And maybe he can just give you a little bit of an update. Doesn't have to be anything elaborate. He not only has worked hard on this, he's done a lot to uncover shoddy workmanship that we would have been paying for. And I think that's even more important. So, give him another round of applause.
There's really nothing much to say, is that we're working hard to get it done. We got 2 crews working on each end of the community. And it's slowly but surely getting done. And I am, like Larry said, keeping an eye on the other crew to make sure that the work gets done, because I'm kind of anal when it comes to a good job. So there's really nothing much to say other than, just keep a lookout for, new fences as we progress towards the 2019. So hopefully we get, and hopefully the rain will, not stop us.
Just to,
Yes, got a question?
Yeah, I wanted to find out when it comes time to paint my fence, who do I contact if I want to get the inside of my fence painted as well?
Well, the association's paying to pressure clean both sides of the fence, repair boards on both sides of the fence, but we're painting the outside of the fence. It's option if the owner, if you would like it painted on the inside, it'd be at your cost. However, if you want to use the same color as the outside, then the association would provide the paint. But I think we all have decided that you're pretty much on your own. You could do whatever you want to do. We didn't want to be that intrusive because we went back and forth about this, when the project started. We were going to do both sides of the fence, but all the challenges that, came before us with every single unit's got some different problem, as far as, there could be just a lot of vegetation, there could just be a lot of gadgets, tables, things, statues, whatever it may be, screen enclosures or another thing, that just obstacles to make it very difficult to be able to do the work inside. And then some people just flat out don't want anything done inside. They're like, hey, leave my inside alone. So we had to reconvene, talk about it, and we just felt that it'd be best to just not be that intrusive and let the homeowner do what they want on the inside as they please. So to answer your question, when it comes time to paint your fence, you can do whatever you want. Obviously, it'd be convenient for the guys that are on the property now doing the fence, and they can do it at the time that they're doing the outside. You just got to pay them for the labor, and they're two different crews charging two different prices.
But who would I talk to if I do want to use that crew?
Well, what street do you want? What street? 54th?
Yeah. 54th.
Yeah.
By the farm.
It's gonna be a little while, but I mean, you can just talk, David for sure, but we're out there, doing it. So once you're gonna see us, you just talk to us, talk to us.
A couple days before they paint the fences, they put a notice on your fence, anywhere between 2-3 days to a week before. On that notice, we'll have the information on who you contact. It'll have the contractor's contact information. You call them and let them know you want to paint it on the inside.
Perfect.
And then you kind of deal with them directly as far as the inside goes. But again, you don't have to use these guys. It's not, you can do it yourself. You can hire anybody you want to. Obviously, it'd be convenient since these guys are right there doing it. So it's really,
I would like to pay them for them to do it since they're already doing it.
Sure.
I just want to make sure that I'm contacting the correct person so they know outside and I pay up front.
We're giving, you're getting 3-day notices, so you're going to know in advance when they're going to be there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Pam.
Let everyone know how much they're charging.
yes.
Well, the one crew is charging $265, and that's 2 coats. It's a prime coat and then a finish coat. So for the 2 coats total is $265. The other guy that's doing it is charging $240.
Can I say, very important again, there's a repair of inside of your fence and no power washing and repair, we're paying for that, it's free. You're paying only for labor for paint inside your fence, so you understand that. You don't pay for repair because people asking that question.
Right. Power washing is
Included in the repair inside your fence too.
Well, it's the association's responsibility to maintain the fence inside now. So that's free, or included in the maintenance.
Yes.
I just have a question. I know with the paint and everything, but I'm glad that they're watering and stuff like that, but I know from when I had my place, staying one time, the watering hits the fence and stuff like that because the bushes are there, it sort of messed up
The
the
sprinklers, you mean?
Yeah, the sprinklers. So therefore, will this paint, is it like water resistant? So if the water, sprinklers just keep hitting it, that's just.
Well, I mean, it's not going to just come off,
Oh, okay.
but if you got a sprinkler that's constantly hitting the fence, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So we need, and I actually have run across this already, and I brought it to the attention of our irrigation company, Image, that's got to be rectified because you can't constantly have the fence getting wet. Otherwise, it's just going to end up getting moldy and rot and stuff like that. No paint job is going to hold up for too long. It's constantly getting wet, but it's not going to just run off down the sidewalk. Yes, back there.
Real quick, back when the fences were done years ago, the sheds were not,
Correct.
the foam was not. The roof of my shed is collapsing.
Yeah, I believe I talked to you
Yeah,
one day,
My
right?
question is the shed in or outside the fence?
Well, the shed is still,
I reclaim it to do what I want to do.
the shed is inside, and it's still your responsibility as the owner. Regardless of, say, someone bought a unit and it had the shed, there when they bought the unit, because I'm getting these questions myself. It's the owner's responsibility
So I
to take care of it.
my question is, instead of having somebody do it, I can do it myself.
Sure.
Do what I want with that shed. Or do I have to put it back exactly as it is?
Well, I mean, I guess that you have to put in an ARV, right?
Yes.
He's wanting to know, like, basically, it sounds like he wants to change the structure of the roof shed.
Not the side, just the roof.
Just the roof, like, what do you want to do?
If you're changing the
But the
pitch,
shed on is like this, I just want to raise it up a little bit so I can get.
No, raise
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's a structural issue, that's not a problem at all.
Yeah, there's a limit to how high the shed roof can be in
Yeah, it's
regard
supposed
to
to-
the mansard, to the overhanging parts of the mansard. In other words,
Stand up,
there's a
stand
restriction.
up the same way you do now.
You
Well,
said
it
you want
depends,
the
because I have seen some of the, a lot of these sheds, they all weren't installed or built by the same person, because I see how differently they've been, built, and quite frankly, some of them I scratch my head. But, maybe yours is not as much of a pitch as some others, but I know we have to keep them below the mansard, the soffit, X amount of inches below that soffit. So it can't go all the way up to right to the bottom of the soffit. It has to be below it.
I just mind getting go by taking part of the room out.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem.
and submit an architectural review.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying at the beginning, is to submit an architectural review so it can be approved for sure, and we'll not have any issues later on. Anybody else?
Yes, can we get a schedule of which way you're on and like where you're going? Not know how fast or that you complete it, but just so we know when our way is going to be done with the fences.
What's
Where
your
you're
name?
at? 57.
It's hard to say because, we've got, we're working on two different ends, and one end right now is trying to take care of some issues
Do you have
that.
like a list of which ways you're going? Like can we see like where you're at and we're way, where you're going?
Yeah, it's, we're kind of just.
You're just doing
flying. We don't
random.
have, we don't
have a schedule.
have an actual plan as far as what, I kind of know where I'm going next. And that is, I'm on 50th, I'm actually just finished 51st, probably just about like the next day or two, 51st will be done. I'm beginning 50th, and then I'm going to cut across the street over to 55th, and then 56th.
Oh, who's doing 52nd? That would be right across the street.
No, I'm talking about across the street from Cumberland. So
And then what about the rail?
52nd is across the street from Cumberland. Behind the- Oh, sir.
Are the rails going to be cleaned? Is it the
I'm
whole
sorry?
thing? It's something that
It's on the drawing.
discuss,
But
yeah, it's on the
you
drawing
will,
board
I
for
mean-
upcoming year.
Okay.
It's been budgeted for.
Yes, that's something we feel very strongly about getting done.
Okay, after the fences.
Yes.
And now if someone does decide to paint their own railings, because I know before the holidays, I painted my own, it is not black paint, it
I
is
know.
brown. Brown.
Bronze, yeah.
Sherwin-Williams. I'm sorry?
No, we do not have a quorum.
Was there any other questions about the fences? Yes, sir. Absolutely. We started that, during 2018, and we've come across some challenges there. So we are continuing to, take care of a lot of our concrete issues. A lot of it has to do with our trees, which are causing a lot of the problems. But we are definitely tackling all the concrete issues. And if Larry, if you want to add to that, you might have a better idea as well.
Well, the concrete is going to be next on our agenda. We have to do something about it. We have a lot of broken concrete throughout the development, as you well know. A lot of it's being caused by ficus trees, and some of it is not. But the ones that we have to address first are the obvious trip and falls. And David is going to get us a list of the worst areas where we need to start, especially sidewalks and parking areas, near the cars, near the dumpsters. I mean, we've got broken concrete near dumpsters that I believe Mary Lou said that somebody on her way tripped over a split in the concrete or whatever it was. So there's a lot of trip and fall areas that we have to address, and that all takes money. We're trying to figure out, we've got bids, they're expensive. We're trying to get as much for our dollar as possible, so we will be getting serious about that in our February meeting. Would anybody else like to? Okay, yes.
Just a very quick question, Randall. Getting back to the fences, so I have sheds, I'm responsible for that. When they pressure clean, will they pressure clean the sheds?
Yeah, we're definitely pressure cleaning and painting the fascia part and the T111 or whatever, most of it's T111, but they'll be painting the outside of it. You got three sides, right? You got one
Yes.
from the inside of the patio, you got the face of it, and then you got the other side. So they're painting the two sides and leaving the inside part alone.
So did I understand you say you're pressure cleaning the inside of the fences?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
if you want them done. I'm finding,
Well,
people
yes,
don't even
I
want
do
it done.
want that. But they won't do the shed, that little piece of inside?
Oh,
shed?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
All right.
Oh, absolutely. No, the whole fence is getting pressure cleaned.
But they're not gonna paint the inside.
Inside.
No, I understand. They won't be considering the shed part of the fence to be pressure
Oh,
cleaned.
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, the goal is uniformity. I mean, that's what raises property values. Everything looking like an organized, well-kept community. And in case you haven't noticed, because I sign off on all the sales, and I just got a list today where 4 units sold, 2 at 195, 2 at 198, and 1 at 197. Now, these are updated units, but even units that aren't updated are in the 150s. So, and the reason is the community's looking better. We lit it up last year. That project's completed, I believe. Almost. We're still trying to figure out. Some unit owners have the switch turned off to the lights, so we have to be able to get to the switches. They're not here. They're up north of the road. But we got it lit up. We're going to try to get the fences. We are getting the fences looking uniform. We got to work on concrete. We got to get these documents updated. And believe me, once the documents are updated, it's going to make it easier to keep the assessments down and to keep the maintenance up. So I would greatly appreciate your help. We have extra. If anybody would like to take some, if you know somebody, if you have a friend, a relative, try to get these things back to us. We have 2 weeks left to get what we need. And it's a big project. We don't want to have to start from ground zero again. So your help is greatly appreciated.
It would be really helpful even if, you just take away, hey, I live on 66. I took 66, 67, 68. I knocked at everybody's doors. I made phone calls to the people that I knew. And I had to go back to the same people over and over and over again to get, it's like pulling teeth. But again, we got to do it. So if you live on a certain way and you know a lot of your neighbors, just go knock on the door. Make them, and have them do it right there. Because otherwise you're going to be going back 6 times to get one document from the person.
Where do you send it or take it?
You can get it to us if you want. You can get it to David. You can send it into the property management company. Or you know what? Call me. I'll come get it. We really need these. We really do.
Joe, did you want to say anything? Joe is our representative on the POA, and of course we pay them a lot of money every quarter, so he might want to give you an update on their situation.
We're not responsible for the nonsense that's going on Gumbo. That is, I've never seen anything like that in my whole life. And the recent bumps that they put in, the bicycles. Already I had an opportunity last week coming back from the meeting where I hit one, not knowing they were there because I didn't see them, I didn't go that way. And I hit one and it literally threw the wheel right out of my hand. I'm speaking tomorrow to Ron Warnicki, who's the president of the POA, and I want to see what we can do about getting some sort of enjoyment against the city of West Palm Beach to take an action, because 2 things I noticed. Those things are not illuminated. They put white stripes on them, but they're not illuminated and reflect enough so that you can see them. And if some passenger, some neighbor walking along that Cumberland with their children in a car, if a car hits that bicycle bump, it's going to be thrown right against that curb and into the people that are walking on that street. It is a disaster waiting to happen. And I don't want to be reporting down that we've had a fatality by stupidity by our city government. Okay, so we are talking to them about it. There also is obstruction going on in the center of that turnaround, or roundabout, okay, which is going to be a hazard in and of itself, and that it's going to be quite high, and it's going to obscure the visibility of the people coming down from Village to the turnaround, swinging around from those coming from Military. You're not going to see them until you get into that intersection. It's going to be a disaster. We know the fire trucks can't ride in the space they allocated, so they climb up on the curbs there. So God only knows how long those curbs are going to last. Tractor trailers coming into the area. I'm not sure we should prohibit tractor trailers from coming down Cumberland, because there's no way they can traverse that turnaround. None whatsoever. So it's been talking, but the city is, we have 6,600 families that live in this community of the villages, okay? And we have not been able to do a thing with this mayor, okay? We just do not get any push. When they did the work on Village, when they threw all the Australian pines down, the POA had tried for them to put up a wall, which absolutely should be there. It's in every other community that you drive around. In fact, there's a new development going on over near Havana, and they're putting up a barrier over there. So what's with us? Why are we the first cousins in the family? But the fact of the matter is they ignored us, and we've already had 3 accidents where cars have come through that barrier. There also is another issue. All those Australian pines coming down, there is no way for the rainwater to collect and be absorbed by the tree roots there, which help. Okay, so we've been flooding Village Boulevard now whenever we get any heavy rains. It's ridiculous.
And
So,
the noise and the noise and the...
if I lived over there, I would get out blocking that road, honest to God. It's really, I can't imagine anybody in Whitehall or anybody in the area going down to Shiloh living alongside that roadway. The noise level, I hear it where I'm at, and I'm closer to Saratoga and Cumberland, I still hear it.
Well, you stand at the mailbox where I live on 51st, and you see not only all the traffic on Village, you see every car and truck and the noise on 95. It's horrendous.
But can we do? What community can do to stop it?
What's going to have to happen is we've got to figure out a way of getting a legal action against the city. You know what that's like, City Hall?
So register to vote.
This is a good wall.
Register to vote.
Yeah. Since we don't have a quorum, you want to notice the best way. Yeah, just
All right, folks, I think we've given you somewhat of a briefing.
Do you have any
Michelle wants to say.
You have some other hands up.
Okay.
I just have a quick question, a couple of things. When are the Mansards going to get pressure washed? 2 years ago, you said you were going to take care of it, and it still hasn't been done.
Well, Mary Lou's been after us to get that on the agenda, and it will be on in February or March for sure, with the nicer weather coming up. We need to get the railings painted. Those decks up there that where the railing is attached need to be cleaned, and the mansards need to be cleaned. So that's all on the upcoming agendas.
And also, we probably should discuss the painting of the sliding glass door frames, which haven't been done since the building was painted.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, you know what you said, our mayor, this is her last term. So, and when I was the representative for the PIA, I was informed that the villages are one of the lowest of voting. Turnout, thank you. So if anybody wants to vote, this is the time to vote, really. And if you really want to get involved and with your neighborhood, please get out there and vote in the next election for your city mayor and of course, the next person.
It's a good idea. Anybody else?
I just wanted to say something also about fences, just, FYI, that, when we first started talking about fences, we talked about replacing them because we had so many different colors and so many different stains and all that. And it would have cost us upward of $1 million to do that. So I think, the way we decided to approach it was to paint, repair, restore. We're really hoping that we can get another 7 years out of these fences after all that we've done. So that's an enormous savings, which leaves us, Randy says 10. His fences,
10, yeah, minimum years.
So, they're all primed, they're oil-based coat, it's supposed to extend their life. So hopefully the monies that we have, and we also, by the way, we did have a good bit of that money. We should be able to pay for the fences with all the money that we had in reserves. So that's previous boards, ourselves, it's really important to keep those reserves funded because we're also going to have all of those concrete repairs. We do have some money in reserves, but not enough to cover all the repairs.
And trees, we have a lot.
And then we have reserves. We have reserves.
Yeah, and speaking of trees, Mary Lou has agreed to work with David this coming year on landscape maintenance. She's very knowledgeable on it. I think she's going to do a great job with David, and we should see a lot of improvements in those areas as well.
I hope
Make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Okay.
Before you leave, we have one more question.
One more question, and then we're going to adjourn.
How many quotes do we have already for the event? And how many do we need? How many foreign quotes do we need?
We'll know better tomorrow after David gets me an updated count, and we'll post it on the website.
Could we put that in the website, maybe? How many votes could we put in the website? Once you have the updated count, we could put a little note in the website for people where we're at.
Nobody needs that signed one.
Okay.
How many votes did we have tonight? What was our final count?
We had 116.
How many?
116
Including
for,
proxies, mail-in.
13 again.
So 116, and we needed 100.
But then we also got a bunch
Well,
of.
wait. We have 116, and we needed how many tonight?
Are you talking about the proxies?
Yeah, I'm talking about a quorum tonight.
Oh, the quorum?
Quorum.
We got 70 for the quorum.
70 plus mail-ins?
No, that's the mail-ins and
That's what I'm saying, both tonight and mail-in, a total of only 70 homeowners. See, this is what we're up against.
But amendment 116.
All right, Joe, our vice president has made a motion that we adjourn the meeting. I second that motion. All in favor?
Okay, right.
The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you for coming, everybody.
Yes, thank you, everybody.